Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, everybody.
We back. Ignorant millennials.
Do you like our title?
Actually, I like it.
We never spoke about the title, but Andrew in the mix
and Cat in the mix.
We're here again. It's been a week since our first episode, our first show. Thank you for everyone who's engaged with us and spoken with us and given us feedback. We've actually been surprised at how many people are really interested in what we've been discussing.
Very. I think we got a lot of constructive feedback.
Yeah, man. And we're gonna put it out there. They told us our first one was too long. No one wants to listen to two young gentlemen talking about issues for that long. But I mean, gotta give the people what they want, right?
Yes, definitely. We gotta give the people what they want. So we've decided to split the content. We will try our best, and we not to go over 25-30 minutes.
Are you snacking that 30 in there? See how you snack that 30 in there. But 25-30 is fine. And at the end of it, we can still discuss, were we able to get through enough? Was it sufficient? Was the detail there?
Yes.
And look, we're building this platform with you guys, right? And hopefully we'll get to a point where we have exactly what everyone wants.
Yes, okay. Definitely. Otherwise, how was your week, man? How did it go?
Hey, man, I had a great week. Wonderful week. Shout out to God. That was great. Thank you for this week. Funny enough, there's nothing like hugely that was outstanding about the week. But I mean, I'm still alive. My family's still okay. There's a lot to be grateful for.
Okay.
And how was your week?
Okay. When you say thank you, God, I was like, maybe nigga got a bonus. We can afford proper podcast equipment. I was like, it's coming. It's coming.
Look, man, give us maybe, what do you think? 3 months?
Yeah.
3 months. This is gonna be a full on production.
Yes.
Like we said, we're gonna give the people what they need, right?
Yeah. I heard somebody say they'd like to see our faces, and
let's talk about that. Guys. Do you want to see our faces? Is there value in that? Or you just want to listen to what's being discussed? I mean, we'd love to show you our space and who we are, but I mean, is that necessary? But yeah, let us know. Give us some feedback. We work and we live on that.
Yeah. We do have an IG page.
Yes. Please go to our page. It's called Ignorant Millennial. There's no S, right?
Yes.
These other guys took up the S and they're not even using it. So screw you for taking an S and not using it. But yes, we will soon be rolling out a full-on social media presence.
Yes,
but we still just trying to just get a feel of what do our core listeners and viewers and just our fan base what do you guys want? And yeah, pretty soon it's going to be rolling out everywhere. But follow us on Ignorant Millennials on IG. It's going to be Ignorant Millennial. My apologies. It's going to be Ignorant Millennial as well on Twitter soon. Yes. It's coming out maybe tonight, this weekend. Yeah. By the time you listen to this and watch this, it'll be out. So follow us. That's where we're going to open up the platform where everyone can just share with us the things we're going to discuss, give us comments. Tell us what you want to know more about, what you want to talk about, what you might have questions on, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, and when you speak about that, about people having questions about things, I know this past week it was the late Mama Winnie's funeral.
Let's just get into it.
Anniversary. I don't know if we call it an anniversary, commemoration of a death. So I know
when these things happen, is it of her death or of the funeral? What date is
of the passing? The death.
Oh, the death. Okay.
Yes.
It's been a year.
Yes, it's been a year.
Not 2. It's just 1.
It's been just 1. Nigga, you have clearly been up to a lot.
Mama Winnie, I love you. I respect you. You've done so much. and how could you forget Ulysses' speech
Yes.
at the that was crazy. But a year has gone by. Do you think the spirit? Can we say the spirit of Mama still lives? I mean, I know one thing that was said after she died, or like it was about how she didn't die, she multiplied. Are you seeing a lot of Mama Winnies out there?
Actually, I think we are. I think we are seeing that. Women are starting to be more vocal, and not even starting. They've always been. I think they're just becoming stronger and stronger in terms of vocal and in terms of leadership. That's
like
definitely.
Like who?
Look, in terms of being leadership and being a woman or dominating a space, a male-dominated space, I think we talk about, like, in entertainment, we can say you have your likes of your Bonang, and you have your likes of your other female celebrities who are also doing the same, and in the business as well, you have, Bonang, although it's entertainment and business, you also have other women taking the fort there, and I think it's great. And I know, for example, even today there was that child that was beaten at the crash. That video that went
beating another child.
Yes,
crash.
There was a viral video of a woman.
Were you beaten as a kid?
I was, like, at my crash in preschool. So,
but what about at home?
As well,
I mean, people talk about corporal punishment and how that should come back, because I mean, you see kids in social media just doing crazy things to their teachers and like shit like that. So I mean, if you were beaten at school, I wasn't beaten at school.
I was.
You were beaten at school?
Yes.
At school?
We were beaten, bruh.
Not high school though.
Yes, I'm talking about the crash preschool. We were beaten. Like, shit. We were beaten, like, I wouldn't name it.
Can you share your story with us? Were you beaten either at home, at school? How was it? Do you feel like people get disciplined from that?
Yeah, well, as might find, like, I think it depends on the child. It definitely depends on the child, and also the environment as well at home, how it is at home as well. So I think there's a number of situations that determine whether or not that is the case. But from my side, I can say it has, for me personally, but to other people it has turned them to bullies, because you've seen what violence does and so forth. So you yourself adopt that nature and so forth. And to other people, it has made them feel less confident, insecure about themselves and so forth. So I think the effects of a beating are different to every child in terms of what it accomplishes.
True. I mean, I was barely beaten, but I think I turned out okay as well. But the point is, Mama Winnie died, and her death should represent a celebration of what she's done for our country as a whole. So I mean, if she's if she was looking down now on us, what do you think she would like us to do right now?
I think she would like us to. I watched a couple of videos.
Those documentaries.
Yes. I think the one thing that comes out from Mama Winnie is that she was all about helping people. She said, familiarize yourself with your neighbor. Know what your neighbor does.
Do we even know our neighbors?
How you can help them achieve whatever goal. And yeah, because that's where it starts. You help your neighbor, you help your colleague, and your neighbor is also your neighbor at work. Yeah. So I think she was all about that, and all about us obviously still continuing to fight racism, which is pretty much still prevalent in SA. Yeah, it was basically as well the leading ourselves to economic emancipation, because Mama Winnie did not just sit down and say, yo, okay, this must happen and whatever. She was out on the streets. She was out helping people, and I think that is how we could honor her.
But do we do that? Because my thing is, just like with all public holidays and all that stuff, like, does it really mean anything to us? And I'm playing devil's advocate here. Like, when it's Freedom Day, Workers' Day, or any of these days, or celebrating Mama Winnie's passing and what her life meant, like, does it mean anything to the youth today? And maybe we can post that to our platform.
Definitely.
What does it mean? Like, what does it represent? We're coming into April, the April holiday rush soon.
Yeah.
Do you think most people know what those holidays are? Does it mean anything? Share with us.
I actually
but
would
do you see
be
the
interested in those answers as
right?
to what it means in terms of that.
Yeah.
Man. But I actually during the weekend I was going through a couple of news. I found actually quite a lot of interesting stuff.
What else happened this week?
One, watching a documentary. Since we're talking about a great woman, let's keep to the theme of speaking about women.
We should make that a focus of a lot of our conversations,
yes.
by the way.
Ladies, women, mothers, sisters,
yes,
daughters. I don't know if you guys are aware. If you guys have watched the show.
Oh, don't go there now.
Or you've not watched the show. It's called Betting on Zero. I'll repeat, Betting on Zero.
Netflix documentary. They've been doing a lot of these documentaries this year. And honestly, production-wise, it wasn't great.
Yes.
But we can't take away from the fact of what they were discussing.
All right. Do you care to tell our viewers as to what it is?
Of course
that
I
we're
care.
discussing there?
Look, let's put it out there. Herbalife is a scam. I've said it. Herbalife is a pyramid scheme. What do you think of the documentary?
I need you to substantiate, because right now you might be potentially, if we blow up one day, we could have a lawsuit on our hands. You're making bold statements. You're calling a model that has been working for years a pyramid scheme. Like,
okay. Let me rather put it this way, right? So when I say that, let's talk about, we've seen pyramid schemes in our communities, right? You've had the whole Triple M thing. That was massive. That was actually huge.
Yeah.
A lot of people went into that.
Yeah.
A lot of people made a lot of money from that.
Yes.
In fact, I know a few people that people bought cars from the money they made from that.
Nigga, what?
A friend of mine showed me a picture of a friend of his at varsity.
Yeah.
And bought a Mercedes CLA.
Wow.
From money put into into like these schemes. Yeah. And the thing about it and what sustained it for so long, there are a lot of people that make insane amounts of money from it.
Yeah.
But what you don't hear about are all the ones who've lost thousands.
Yes.
Savings, money that they've put aside in the hopes of bettering themselves, their future, like economic empowerment, emancipation, any which way you want to call it. So if we think or talk about what does a pyramid scheme look like, or rather, what are the characteristics of a pyramid scheme?
So my understanding of a pyramid scheme is basically where my income is dependent on you and the people whom you as well recruit to join beneath you. So it's dependent on a chain of people where we're receiving commissions on top of commissions.
Yeah, and they call it what? Network marketing.
Yes.
So
and as well, so besides that in itself, one of the other characteristics of a pyramid scheme is basically the product or what's promised about that product, the client never receives that or is not achieved.
My thing is, when people get into Herbalife, or at least let me speak from my own experience and not for everyone. How is it that you're about to get into a like a model, where a business model now, or business opportunity, which is what they've largely called it? How is it that the greatest selling point of this model is not the product itself? How are you going into a venture where the product being sold, or at the center of it, or what should be at the center, is not what is being sold? Because everyone sells the business opportunity, everyone sells how much money you can make from it. If there are any Herbalife ambassadors, what's the official term? What do they call them?
I don't know, man.
I'm an ignorant millennial, and that's what
this show,
that's what the platform is about. Like, so inform us. Do you know someone who is involved in Herbalife?
Because I found it quite interesting as I was watching that documentary. I mean, as we say, I was ignorant to the fact that Herbalife is a global company. I thought it was a South African company. But this thing was global. This thing was listed on the JSE. I mean, not on the JSE.
I didn't.
On Wall Street.
I didn't. So I knew it didn't start in South Africa. Yeah. But I will admit that I did not know this was a publicly listed company.
Yes.
I didn't know how huge Herbalife actually was. And more than that, I didn't know how old it was.
Yeah.
Like the guy who founded it was like from the 80s.
Yes.
This thing is old.
Yes. Also, I wasn't also aware that it was that old. I was shocked.
That is crazy.
That is crazy.
How old were you when you learned that Herbalife was a company, or is a company not from South Africa, number one, publicly listed, and one of the best performing companies on the stock exchange in America?
I would also want to know if you have been using Herbalife.
Yeah.
Can you say it has worked for you? What results have you seen? Because having watched that documentary, I can tell you one thing. Because one of the reasons for that, or the reason why that documentary was established, and I know we live in an era right now where it seems like there's trial by public. What do they call it? Where these things are not necessarily. We have these documentaries without proof, or having gone to court and whatever, and we're already persecuting people or companies. But it's not the case with this Herbalife one, because the underlying was that people were not seeing the result. Well, people were not seeing the results. People were promised certain amounts of money, because as my co-host has said, is that the underlying product is not what is promoted. What is promoted more is the rewards, the financial rewards you will get. And
so, I mean, let's keep the conversation open, right? So I'm at the stance where I feel like this whole thing is just bogus, right? That's my opinion, and I'm open to like being schooled about it. But in that process, anyone who feels that they can explain what is a pyramid scheme, and if they can explain to me how Herbalife is not one, then I'm willing to listen to that. And because to your point, right, there might well be people who love the product, who've had a great experience with it. I don't know those people. I haven't experienced them.
Yeah, because that's very valid. Because a certain point that also came out from the documentary, or one of the things you pick up, is that like you were gonna lose that weight if you were doing it to lose weight from just going to gym. Because I know nobody who uses Herbalife and is sitting at home and is seeing results for the weight loss, for example. So that's just not happening.
So it was gonna happen anyway, whether they had the Herbalife product itself or anything else. It was still gonna happen.
Yes, but without spoiling much of the documentary for you, if you've not watched it, The reason is called Betting on Zero, and why.
Was it launched this year? Is it from
2017.
Year?
2017.
It's 2 years old.
Yes.
How are we only waking up to this now?
I don't know. But
that might also speak to the quality of it as well.
But remember to like South Africa, I only started becoming aware of the growing number of them recently. It's kind of like with your forex traders, for example.
Yes.
Forex market has existed forever,
always.
But the prevalence in the past 2-3 years, they've just been in our face. So I think the same has been with Herbalife. So that's why I think we're only becoming aware of this. I think there must have been a couple of people who are like, you know what, I really want to find out. Then somebody must have Googled Herbalife as South African and saw that there was a Netflix documentary, watched it, then went on Twitter. I don't know. It could have started like that.
No,
it could have grown up like that.
It's true.
But speaking of scams, another company, some might feel that they were scammed by, and well, they did scam. They did scam a lot of people. They scammed their shareholders. They pretty much scammed the whole world.
They did. I mean, and it's almost sad that after so much time has passed, we're still feeling the effects of what these guys did. And we're not talking about VBS.
Yes.
We're not talking about VBS. We're talking about, and these companies, right? JSE listed. Do you think they have a responsibility to society, to Africa? Do you think they have a responsibility? And you believe in capitalism.
Yes.
How do you think of what they did in the context of your capitalism? And please, while doing that, share with our platform, who are we talking about?
Okay. So I don't think what they're doing, or what they did rather, is kept. So capitalism, there's capitalism and there's theft. We need to
make
separate
the distinction.
the two.
Okay. Fair.
So deception is not capitalism.
Okay.
And what we're dealing with, we're talking about, is it Steinhoff or is it Steinhoff? I guess it depends.
It's not our mother's tongue, man. It doesn't matter. If you want to stay in Hoff, we will say that. Yeah.
Yes. So I'll stick to Steinhoff for now. So
bougie. Model C school kids.
Look, I didn't go to a Model C school, but one might argue I went to a Model C university.
It's not that.
But anyways,
that
was deception. That is deception. Because that's the saying. Then the previous company we were talking about with the Herbalife thing is also capitalism, because it's deception. I'm telling you this is this way. If I'm telling you, I'm selling you this car, and this car is, and I'm telling you is worth 200 rands when it's worth 2 rand, right?
Yeah.
That I'm lying to you. That's deception in itself. And if I'm telling you that it's going to last you 2 years, whereas I know it's going to last you 2 months, that's deception. That's not capitalism.
Okay.
Right?
What would be so, I mean, in the context of that, right? So, what would be the appropriate capitalist type of approach to that whole scenario?
Okay. So, what would be the appropriate capitalist approach with regards to this scenario? So using the same example of a car. If there's a car that I'm selling, right? So I would sell the car that meets the market, right? And I will try to sell the car at reasonable profits or lower my cost substantially, so that I can sell this at a market rate. That is capitalism, because capitalism is about finding an opportunity and providing for that opportunity. That is capitalism, right? And not and not selling at a break even or to help the whole world or whatever, because then that's socialism and so forth. It's still profit driven, but you're not selling deception. You're selling a working thing, and you've identified a need and a gap, and you're exploiting that gap to your ends. And it's exploitation and not deception. There's a difference.
So exploitation is okay. On that note, so let's theme today's episode around scams.
Yes.
Right. So, have you ever been scammed? Have you ever tried scamming another person? I mean, scamming could come in all forms, right? So I could trick you, deceive you, as you've said.
Yes.
So please share with us and maybe warn co-platform members, like what is out there. I know there's been some debit orders that have gone through people's accounts over the past years. There's been on social media, people get hacked. So what is out there? What should you be looking out for? And please share with us your stories, right? So other ignorant millennials can learn from it.
I'm actually just interested, what is your final thoughts on the whole Steinhoff and Cap share issue?
Look, I mean, they have a lot of issues to address. By they, I mean Steinhoff now, right? So, number one, them selling the interest in Cap, they have a lot of debt to settle. They have for Cap, it's beneficial because now they're letting go of Steinhoff, a shareholder who's been going through the most, right? So if I'm Cap, I'm happy that they're gone. I'm sure there's a lot of other synergies that are now lost by not having them as a shareholder anymore. But I mean, they need to fix the mess they caused. They need to fix the mess they caused, and they are sitting on a lot of assets. Clearly, they had a shareholding in other companies that they could, liquidate and sort out some of the problems. So I'm hoping this will go a long way into fixing a lot of what they did. I don't know if we will, at least in the near future, get to a place where we don't remember what Steinhoff did. But I mean, I guess it's a step in the right direction to solve the more immediate problems.
All right.
Those are my thoughts. And in closing, some of yours?
No, 100%. I think you touched on everything that I would have loved to touch on.
Yeah.
And I fully agree with you. And I would actually like to find out also from our listeners what their thoughts are with regards to the topics mentioned today.
Yeah.
And because we live in a capitalistic and deceptive world. So let us know there.
All right. So me, Andrew, good.
And me, Kat.
Yeah. Look, also, I mean, when you leave work, do you leave with a bang? Or do you just cheers, sharp, I'm gone? We should consider that. But yeah.
Most of us leave all right, cheers, man.
Cheers. Yeah, look, guys, you're platform members. We don't need to smooth you. But yeah, look, cheers till our next chat. We look forward to all the feedback that's going to come from this. We hope you enjoyed today's episode.
Yes.
All right.
Cheers.
I'm good, chap.
Signing out.
And guys, please, we're about to launch our social media presence. So if you're watching or listening to this on YouTube, click the like button, subscribe to our platform, because it's not a channel, it's not a podcast, it's a platform. That's what we're seeing it as.
Yeah.
And Ignorant Millennial on Instagram. Follow that, and you'll be able to just engage with us better. You'll be part of our content creators, and just tell us what do you want to chat about.
100%. All right. Cheers.